What's going on, guys? It's your boy Fix It Daniel, and we are back on the scooter here today. We are going to be working on the clutch. So I'm going to be replacing the clutch springs. We got the right clutch springs that I wanted to add onto the bike. So without further ado, let's get into it. So guys, welcome to the channel. So today we are going to be getting on a scooter today. We're going to be changing the clutch springs. So mind you, in my previous video when I was updating the clutch on this, we were using the NYC clutch. And that had a black 1000 RPM counter spring in the center. And then it had a red 2000 RPM clutch springs that's opening the clutches. So I thought that was a little off. So I got in touch with Rolling Wrench. He says perfectly fine. It should be fine. But for me, I like to stay consistent. So, because I thought about going to a 1500 RPM, because I saw a video and the guy said it did really well. And those are yellow. There's a yellow counter spring and yellow clutch spring. And if you go to 2000 RPM, you do red and red. So they all are consistent. So I feel like with it being 1000 RPM, I want it to be the consistency of 1000 RPM clutch springs. So let me show you guys what I'm talking about. All right, guys, so let's come to the table and let me show you what we got here. So this is the NYC clutch that I was talking to you about. It has the 2000 red RPM clutch springs that the guy from Rolling Wrench said it was okay. And if we come over here, we grab the spring. And remember again, this is the 1000, it says right there, if it gets it clear, 1000 RPM counter spring. So this is what the kit came with. So you have 1000, counter spring trying to open 2000 RPM clutches. I felt like that's a bit much, and I was wondering if that was the reason why my belt was keep breaking, because I can't think of anything else. It's fitting right, everything is smooth and perfect. I can't think of any other reason why my belt keeps breaking. So I'm thinking that maybe it's just too much tight, because everybody that says when they go 2000 RPM, it's too tight. It's way, way, way too tight. The max that I've seen people go is 1500. So I would like to go to a 1500 just to try the comparisons between 1000 and then a 1500. And it's rarely inexpensive to get a 1500. So these is super extreme. I can't even imagine what I would be using 2000 RPM clutch springs for. I don't need that much RPM force to open the clutches, so I can't imagine what I would use that for. 1000 RPM, okay, maybe 1500. I seen the guy say 1500 gives you better top end speed, opening the clutches and stuff like that. He did say it did take a little longer for the throttle to kind of catch, but I don't know. We'll figure that out when we get to that part. But right now we're going to focus on the 1000. So this is what I got here. I got these from Amazon. They're a spring clutch. They're 1000 RPM from THW Parts. This is off of eBay. Didn't pay too much for them. So basically, I'm going to break it down a little bit. So if you're getting clutches in clutch springs and common springs and stuff like that, they come in different colors. Now, I just mentioned earlier that a 2000 is red. That's just the max. It's a red counter spring with red clutch springs. And then if you're going 1500, it's yellow. Yellow clutches, yellow counter spring. But when it gets to the 1000, it becomes a little different. When you're doing 1000 RPM clutch springs and counter springs, they have three different colors. There's black, there's blue, and then there's white. So if you look online, you're looking for 1000 RPM clutch spring, counter spring, you'll see a black, a blue, and a white. And they'll both say 1000. Now, from what I'm thinking, the reason why they're so different in color is maybe it's because of the firmness, softness, and heaviness. So when it comes to the 1000s, I think they have a little bit of wiggle room when it comes to being super firm or super soft. Even though it'll still be 1000 RPM clutch springs, it may not be as taut or tight as the white would be, or the blue or the black. So I'm not too quite for sure, but I did remember someone online on another YouTube video talking about the firmness of these. There are different versions of clutch springs that are super tight, maybe like super tight, firm, or super soft. So that could be what he was talking about with these. They may have wide ranges. Now I'm not for sure what the black would be. I wanted to stay consistent with black, but they didn't have any available, so I got the blue. So I'm not for sure what the blue one is, but I think there is a different soft, firm, and super strong. I don't know which ones, but I didn't notice that. So that's just a rule of thumb. If you ever see, hey, how come you have blue 1,000 RPMs and I got black or I got white? Well, it's because I think it could be because of that, is the firmness of which one you have. Even though it's 1,000 RPMs, it's just depending on if it's soft, if it's soft, firm, or hard. So I think that's the only difference. But we are gonna go take this out for a spin because I do need gas. I haven't been riding it lately because I need to get belts. I only have one belt left, and it's the only one that's in there. So I haven't been riding it that much. Once I broke that last belt and had to walk it back, I had to walk it back for a good deal of miles. And I was an idiot. I told myself to bring tools and an extra belt, and I said, no, it should be fine. We shouldn't have to worry about it. And I took it out anyway, and I kept going further and further till it finally just broke. And then I had to walk it back for miles, which was not a good idea. So guys, if you're just rule of thumb, if you have a problem breaking belts or you're doing something crazy to your bike and you seem to be breaking belts for some odd reason, going distant riding and stuff like that, make sure you bring a set of tools to get this off and another belt. Just until you figure out what the problem is, because if you don't and you go riding really far, you're going to have someone tow it back or you're going to have to walk it back. So it's just better for safety if you're trying to do upgrades. You're maybe getting a big bore kit, performancing your transmission, your motor, or whatever. Make sure you have tools with you when you go riding great deal of distance. So at least that way, even if you don't have the Kevlar belt or upgraded belt, at least you have a belt that'll get you back home so you don't have to be walking it. That's pretty much my 2 cents. So let us get this bike out. We're just gonna go up to the street. It's not that far. It's like if I got stranded, it's like a 5-10 minute walk. So whether it being like a half an hour to an hour walk. So we're just going to just go up street, get some gas in it, give a good few runs, see what it feels like then we're going to change the clutch out. We're going to show you how to change these springs over, and then we'll put that clutch in here, and then we'll go take it for a little ride up and down, and then we'll see what the performance is and see if it makes a difference. So let's get into it. All right, guys, so we're going to let this thing warm up real quick. We're going to take this out for a spin, and we're going to get some speeds and see what we can do, see how this clutch is going, and we will get some results. So let's get on it and see what the results be. Okay, guys, so we're back from the ride. We just got back. I tried to ride it to the store, but then I couldn't get it started. But then I realized right when I came back, I was like, and I tried starting to get it, wouldn't start. It's like, oh, I forgot to turn the fuel gauge, the fuel cock thing, the manual thing to let the fuel go into the carburetor. I forgot to turn it back on. So it would have started and I could have ran it to the gas station, but it's okay. We got gas in it. We took it for a spin. It ran really, really good. Really, really strong pulls. Really, really strong top end. Even though it was the street that I live on is a little bit short coming out, but it was a nice, good stretch. So I got all the way to the end, did a U-turn, and then gave it the full throttle all the way from one end to the other. And we got a speed of 43 miles an hour. And here is the screenshot of the speed. Okay, so it was 43 miles an hour. That's actually not bad because, the bike is steady to run about, 25, 30 miles an hour. So 43, we're getting somewhere. We're going in the right direction. So, and that's also because I got a big bore kit in there. I got a throttle. I got air. It's actually running really good. I got 7-gram rollers in there, stock transmission, except for the 7-gram rollers. That's the only thing that's been upgraded from the 5 to the 7. So we're in a good, pretty good ballpark. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave him with the 7-gram. We'll leave him at there. And then maybe we'll try to go to 9 if everything goes really good and see if we can get a little more speed out of it. But we'll stick with the 7. We'll just change the clutch spring and the clutch. And the cotter spring and the clutch springs. And we'll put the 1,000 in there. And then we'll see how it runs with that base. So right now, we're going to let the bike cool. We're going to let it cool because it's really hot outside. It's hot on the bike. So we're going to let that transmission cool before we start tearing it apart. But I can at least show you guys how to install the clutch springs. Then we'll let that cool. Then we'll do some changes. We'll take it for another run, see how it goes. So let me show you how to install the springs. Okay, guys. So we're at the table. We're going to take this off. So let's get this spring out the way. And these are like spring together really, really good. So we are going to first just start with one, and then we'll see how we get the other one out. So what we're going to do is we got some hooks here. So we're just going to lift. Because these things these things are on here. So we don't want to make them harder than we have to. Let's start with this one. So not exactly an easy task, I tell you what. But don't worry. I'm not so easily give up. I just don't want to shock myself in the face. So oh, these springs are in there too. Okay, let us rethink this. Okay, guys, so we're back. I figured it out. I figured out a really cooler and simpler way of getting this out. So I'm just going to do a quick explaining it, just so you guys understand. So this is out. Okay, this is out. So pretty much what we figured out is, most people were saying, you can get up under here, lift it, pull it. One guy even had it screwed into here to give him some brace, that's one way of doing it, but I don't really feel like tearing into my really nice epoxy board. So if you had something like wood that you didn't care about screwing in, that would be the best tactic for this. But since I don't really have anything that I don't want to tear into this. This is really good wood, and I really don't want to tear into it. I figured out a way of getting this off. So most people were saying, grab from the little short ends, but here is the way that I thought. So, and I took it out. So I got my channel locks that are tight on there. Because you want to get a good pull. Remind you, these are 2,000 RPM, so these springs are really tight. So what I did was do this. So this is some like steel wire, which you'd probably use to tie up bundles of wire and stuff like that. I've also used this for soldering as well, but not solder wire, because solder wire is soft. This is metal wire. This is like metaling wire. You use it for just about anything. So what I do is do this. I get it wrapped around here. You don't have to twist it. Then I take my channel locks, make sure that my channel locks go over both ends of the wire, okay? And then once you get it, even you can get it on top of each other, it would be better. So like side by side, and then squeeze until it locks in place. You have to get it really tight. Now, this is a pull from my second jack. So I stick it in this little crevice to give it a little bit of something to hold on to, okay? And then I hold it and turn. Sorry, you can't see that. Turn it. Hang on. Turn it and pull. And it comes out. Just like that. Boom. Pull this, get this out of my way. And boom. I can actually get it out. Just like that. It's out. So, we'll get this one out here. Actually, before we get that out, I want to put all these back in the right way so I don't lose my step. So, small piece, small hole. Big piece, big hole. So, now that we got that down packed, we'll unsnap this. I'll show you one more time. Unsnap it. Mind you, this is really tight. It doesn't have to be that tight, but I have it on there. So, you're going to loop it through. You can use anything as long as it's strong enough to where it won't break. That's all that matters. So you just have some loose wire lying around, that's fine. It doesn't have to be this particular type of wire. It's just anything strong. Just don't use solder wire. Solder wire is not strong. It's soft. It's soft. Okay? So I'm going to use this end instead. Alright? So you stick... Well, I guess it won't work that way. Nope. Alright, that's fine. No big deal. Alright, so you stick the pipe in the hole. Give it a nice, good tight area. Now, if you have something that would go a little deeper, that would be fine, but it's okay. Just something to hold it. So, twist, pull, get it under there so it'll lift. Keep going, keep going. Okay, now I'm under the hook. Pull and release. And then that's it. Get this out of the way. Boom. Now we can replace the new springs and put them right back in there. Alright, so now we're going to put the blue springs in here. I left that one in here as a placeholder so I know exactly how these need to go in. So we will take this little staple out. Alright, staples out. Should be able just to slide on out. Yeah, I was trying different kinds of tools. One guy used these. These are like separators. You can stick them in there and separate it. That didn't work because his was individual. Mine are solid pointers, so I can't separate them. Like he had a curved one and then he had a straight one. I can't do that on that one, so that one's out. But screwing it down would have been perfect, and then just putting the wire in and pulling would have been boom. It would have been out. So. So now we're going to go ahead and get our blue ones in. Hopefully they're a little more easier going in than taking them out. So we're going to take the blue, that in there. We're going to take our little clip hook. We'll just pull. Okay, it's a little tight, no big deal. So what we'll do is do this. Take a loop. Pull. Okay, we're getting it in there. A little more. Alright. Pull a little bit more. Here, we'll use the pole again. Might be a little easier. Alright, there it is. It's in now. Get this out. Yeah, screwing it down way more easier now that I'm seeing it. If you could screw it down or find some way to anchor it, it's way more better than the pole. But I don't want to destroy my beautiful table, so I'm not anchoring it. So we'll have to lighten that up just a little bit, because that's way too tight. Let's lighten that up a little bit. Just a little bit. There we go. All right. And we can separate this wire here. And it's safely and secure in there. So, take these out, do the exact same thing. Put our wire through, squeeze it. Should be a little bit more lighter. It's actually a lot lighter. Just gonna tighten it a couple more turns. All right, get that back in its hole. Won't stay in there. All right, here we go. Pull. Oh. This thing is not getting tight. Either it's too super tight or it's super, super long. So, I think we got it now. There we go. All right, so this goes back in the hole. Stick that in there and just pull. Gotta get a good grip. Goodness gracious, too much of a grip. Alright, so let's keep trying this again. It's no one's fault, it's just this thing is just here, I'm just gonna twist it. That'll make life easier. Alright, so I just twisted it. And then now we can probably get a better bite. Alright. Alright, now we got it. Untwist this. Alright, one more. Alright, I think you get the gist of what I'm doing, so when we get this last one, we'll be right back. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to show it to you anyway. I actually just had one guy said that in a comment on another video I had, he said that I was not showing him everything, and he's a mechanic, and he wanted me to show. He said, who cares if your video is super long? I want to see everything that you do. I'm a mechanic, and I learn from watching people. So, all right, here we go. Last piece. Hope you can see it. You can see it, and then pull. Get a good pull. Super. These are 1,000. All right, let's get this off real quick. Okay, get her a little hook. Get a pull and push. Of course, this one wants to be kind of a pain. Really wants to be a pain. All right, we're gonna have to re-pull this again. Doesn't want, it's like slight right there, just got kind of stuck. So, all right. Alright, like almost there. Just being stubborn. There we go. We got it. The last one was a stubborn one. Okay. Okay. Whew. Got it. It is in there. It's hooked on. Hold up a sec. I just want to make sure it's 100%. Yep, there's the click. Now we're in there. It didn't click like the rest of them did. Now they're completely secure. So, now it's completely secure. Now, we just go install it on the bike and give it a rip. Alright guys, so we're going to get this off. I'm going to check the belt as well and see. Let's get this on the side here. See how they're looking. I'm going to check and make sure it's not frayed or anything. So here, let me get down there real quick. Make this process go faster. I don't know if you guys can see all this or not. There we go. Last one. And remember, when you're taking this cover off, you don't have to take this off, just pull it off. See? Just like that. Alright. So, belt's looking a little fray there, but not too shabby. Alright. We're going to pull this out so this doesn't get in the way. Like we got some wear. I mean, the belt's going to wear anyway. Just wearing a little bit, but not anything too shabby. So let's get the other nuts to get these off. Get everything down here on the floor. All right. There's like a 15 here. This one's a... Nope, I totally forgot about that. Hold up. Totally forgot about that. So apparently, this star pattern is more better than this because now it's just riding through. So we're gonna have to Where's that? There we go. Pull this off. Keep these. Oof. Got some excessive wear here. Look at that wear. That's crazy. Alright, we'll figure out something here. Too big. Take a 14. I'll take a 14. Alright, get the bell housing off. Squeeze this down just to get it off the belt. Wow, that's a lot of wear. Alright, pull this off. And now we got the belts off. So, seems like we got a little bit of wear on the end here. But you could tell, look at the wear on that bad boy. So, I'm wondering if it's too close to the variator and it's rubbing somehow, like we're missing some kind of spacer. Now I know the only thing that we're missing is the fan, and that could be the reason why it's not enough room, because the fan goes on the outside, so maybe the nut's getting too tight. I don't know if I need to use this spacer in place, so sticking this out. So basically this would go, no, I guess not, because this goes on it, and then this goes in front of it, and then this goes here, but there'd be more room because, no, I guess not, because the fan would be on this side here, so I don't know how much more room that would be. So I'm not for sure why it's giving me so much wear. Nothing seems to be out of place. But it's definitely wearing big time. Look at the darkness on that bad boy. So I'm not for sure why it's doing that. If you guys know in the comments why it's getting this much wear, is it because of the fan? Because the fan would go on the outside here. It would sit. These keyways would sit in the fan. I don't know if that would be the reason why it would be so frayed like that. That's like super rubbing. But. And then like the belt, it's rubbing on this side, so it goes on this side. It's rubbing really bad right here. You can start seeing it fray. I don't think it's supposed to do that, but I can't figure out for the life of me what's missing. Am I missing a spacer? Like some kind of a ring to go on the back of here? I'm just not realizing it. I'm not for sure. So, because this is supposed to go all the way back on there. I don't know. It's interesting. Alright, well, let me guys know in the comments what you think this might be. But, alright, so let's get this cleaned out. It's definitely wearing up some chunks in here. Something's off. I'm not for sure what though. Okay. Well, pushing forward. Alright, now we're gonna get this old clutch spring out. Alright, as we get up. Alright. Grab our clutch spring. Get our big socket. clutch spring out. Here's the older clutch springs. I'm not sure what RPM these are, but it's out. I don't know. Alright, take out our contra spring. Then we're going to replace it with our 1000. Put that right back on top. Get the new one. Get our nut. Get it remounted. Alright. Enough room so I can get this nut on. Alright. Got that in there with the 1000 springs, clutch springs, and 1000 contra spring. So, alright, so we're gonna stick this back on there just like that. Okay guys, so we're back. Had a little issue, but it was just something was a little off here. I think this little thing is a little kind of warpy a little bit, but I don't know if that's it or not. It seems like it's floating pretty good, but I do see a little bit of play going back and forth, so I don't know if that's the issue or not, but whatever. So what we're going to do is, before we go, we're actually going to change sides. We're actually going to flip it over. So take the frayed side and put it on the outside, and then put this on here. So we'll see what happens. So we're going to slide this belt on here, just so we don't have to deal with it later. And then now we're going to put our variator and belt and stuff back. So we're going to clean this off. It's just rubbing. It's just weird. I just can never understand it, but yeah, it's rubbing pretty good. Like, seriously. So we're gonna clean it off. Get all this cleaned off. Wow, it was caked on here. Yeah, this stuff is caked. Oh, well, that could be a reason. It's got a really big gouge in it. That could be the reason why it's fraying. Tell you what. We're gonna switch to this one and see if there's any difference. This is the one that came with the NYC kit. We're gonna see if this makes a difference, because that's really cut. I didn't realize how bad that cut was. So I think they're the same size, maybe a smidget bigger. We're gonna try this and see. So we're gonna try this. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take this one out. Same rollers. Then we're gonna put this back on. All right. Slide this back on here. Shaft. sure that's nice and firm up against that. All right, we're gonna squeeze. Oof, that is on there. All right, let's give this thing a good squeeze. Wow, that is, whew, that is on there. All right, hang on a second. Let's see how much play this thing's got. It's got some doable play. Just can't get a good pull on it. Here we go. There we go. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. All right. Let's put this back on. Make sure this is loose because we want to make sure this isn't stopping it from being super tight. All right, let's tighten this back up. Alright, it's just because I have the thing in there. Alright. And put this, so here's the new one. Put this new one on here. Alright, change this out. So you're the right one, yep, you're the right one. Alright, let's get this all buttoned back up. Put this back in here. Nice. Super tight, tight, tight. Alright, let's put this cover back on. Butter. Alright, looking good, looking good. We're going to check this out. Hopefully everything's working really good. Hopefully don't break any more belts. Alright. I don't use an end pack on this because if you're going to keep taking this off and on, you don't want to keep tightening. And really, honestly, it doesn't need to be impacted tight because there's nothing like liquid in it. It's just keeping it sealed. So there's really no point in torquing these down, because right under here, this is the air vent letting out the air. So what's the point of torquing this down? There's no liquid. It's just the cover. So there's no need for you to tighten this up. Just FYI, guys. All right, so we got this all done. Now we are going to go and see how this thing rides. So let's get that. Okay, guys, so it's running. We're gonna go take it for a spin. So remember the speed we had was I think it was 43 miles an hour. So let's see what this does with this 1,000, and hopefully everything works good. So let's get the ride and we'll give you the results. Okay, guys, so we're back riding. We got a top speed after this at 44, so not too much more. It was 43 when we finally finished, when we fit it the first time. So 43 seemed to be the speed that was really fast. Oh, well, 43 was under it, so we were shy faster this time around. So I'm not for sure if we need to go up into bigger weights. So it seemed like it was rolling pretty good, so definitely has some pickup, that's for sure. But I think we're going to change them to a 9-pound weight. I don't know if that's going to bring it down or not, but it seemed like it was running really good with the original. With the 7 gram, the takeoff is fast, but we want top end. So we're all right with the takeoff. Just we want top end speed is what the goal is. So we got to figure out something. So we're gonna try and change these to a 9 gram and see if that makes a difference with top end speed. So 7 grams with the original transmission the way it is seems to be pretty peppy, but I don't know what the 9s will do. So we're gonna try and go to a 9, and we'll see what happens with speed and takeoff and stuff. So let's get this. I think we got this last bolt out. Then we'll go from there. Let's see what we got. But I want to check out this belt too and see how this belt's doing, because I feel like something's rubbing. So I'm just gonna take this off. Yeah, it's wearing pretty good on there. So not too for sure what it could be. Alright guys, so we're back. We did a couple of runs. I think I just need more room to run, because I topped out at 44 before I had to hit the end. So it's just not a lot of room to stretch on that road that I was on. So what we will do is we will go ahead and stop. What we'll do is we'll wait for the the other belt to come in, and then what we'll do is we'll go take it out for someplace where we can stretch it and get a nice good takeoff run. So maybe we'll go to the park, that's not too far from here, and bring some tools and just do a stretch run. That way we can stretch it out and see how far will it actually go, and we'll change jets and stuff like that. We'll just keep trying to mess with it. So, but it's running pretty good. The belt thing is still kind of wearing. I gotta figure that out. Maybe we need a new variator. Might be the case. Not too for sure. So let me close this real quick. So yeah, we might need a new variator or some sort, so that way we can, I don't know if the scarring on it is what's causing it to rip or tear, but I'm not too for sure. But I know that it's running really well. Just I just think that we're hitting its peak. Maybe we need to go bigger motor, because we look at the top of the variator, and before I had videoed it, so I apologize, because it actually, my camera died, or my phone died, so or because of the heat. So when I checked it the last time, it was actually hitting the very, very top. So we're hitting the very, very edge of the variator. So maybe we just need more room for it to go down, and more room for the variator to go up. And I know if you get like I think a high performance variator is a little bigger, which gives you more room for the belt to go up and the more room for the clutch to go down. So you would get a new clutch, bigger clutch, and a bigger variator to make room so you can go down here and up here to get more top end speed. That may be the way to go. I may have to do some research into that. But as you see, there's a scar right in here, and maybe that's what the belt is like grinding into when it's getting really close and tearing it. So we'll have to see if that's the issue. Maybe we'll get a new one of these and then try the belt again and see if it's starting to fray. If it doesn't fray, if we get the new one, then that was the issue. This thing right here, it's cutting into it. And the other one's got a little scarring on it too. I don't know how they got scarrings, but they got scarrings. So we'll have to figure that out. But yeah, she's running pretty good. We'll just have to do some more test runs and get some more room to run, so that way we don't run out of room. Well guys, that's it. It did really pretty good. We got to like I said, we got to like 44 miles per hour on it. It was at 43 when we first started, so we gained extra horsepower, but I think it's also because we don't have a whole lot. I don't have a whole lot of room on that road that I'm going. It's not getting a whole lot of top speed run room. It wants to keep going, but by the time I get to the end, I have to get off the throttle so I can brake. So I think we're gonna have to try to find a better location to do some top speed runs. I think I got a good idea, a place where we can do that and do it safely, where there's no people on the road and I don't have to stop. So I think I got an idea, a place where we can go, or I got a couple of places we can go. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna wait for the belt to come in. I actually ordered a Kevlar belt. I'm also going to look into see if I can order a new variator, and I'm going to look into the high performance variators. I just looked at them a while ago, and they're supposed to be bigger. They're supposed to be a little bit bigger, and then I think if you get I think it's a set. I think it's the variator's bigger and the clutch is bigger, so you can go down more in the clutch, more room to go down, and more room to go up. But I think with the performance variator, you got to go with a longer belt, because you need more room to travel, because right now the belt's really short. So if we go to the high performance variator, we may not have a whole lot of room for it to go up. I think it'll still work, but then we'll be hitting the top end because the belt can't go any bigger. So we'll have to look into that, see if the bike will see if they even have one for my bike. So we'll do some digging, and if they do have it, we may have to get that, and that might give us the top speed that we're looking for, because the motor's doing good. Motor's doing as best as it can do. So everything is working pretty good on that. May have to go up on the jet a little bit on the pilot part. Not too for sure. We'll have to try it and see and check it out again. But yeah, guys, that's it. I thank you very much. Please go down and like and subscribe. And if you guys know the issue of why it keeps grinding, I think that gouge in the variator may be it. But if it isn't, and you guys may know, please give me a comment and let me know what it might be, so that way I could try and fix it. Because the goal is we're still trying to get this bike to go for a very long distance to here to my brother's job and back. Now I understand I'm a little more heavier than my brother. I'm about 100. I got more like 100 and some pounds on him. So when he rides it, it's gonna be light and fast. So if I can get it to the speed that we're trying to get with me on it, then when he gets on it, it's gonna be no problem. It'll be definitely lighter for him, and he can get there with no problem. So, and I'll be the one riding it there and back, trying to test that out. So, looking forward to getting that. But we're getting super close. Just got to get this transmission dialed in, and I think a little more tweaking on the carburetor to give it all the power from open to closed throttle, and I think we'll be good. So I think we're going in the right direction. But like I said, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Thanks guys so much. I greatly do appreciate it. And please follow me on Instagram at FixItDaniel. If you guys have not seen my stuff, my videos, please go down, like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you guys so much. You have a good and blessed day, and I'll see you guys on the next fix.